Queen Elizabeth II, the UK's longest-serving monarch, died on Thursday at the age of 96. She died at the Scottish estate of Balmoral, one of her favourite homes, where she had spent much of the summer. Her reign lasted 70 years, witnessing enormous social change. Her son, King Charles III, said in a statement that the death of his mother was a moment of great sadness. The King and his wife Camilla, who is now the Queen Consort, are expected to return to London today. King Charles is also expected to address the nation today. King Charles was due to travel back to London with his wife Camilla, who is now Queen Consort, before meeting the Prime Minister and making a televised statement.
I tweeted it and he told me that before. Yes. Thanks.
On Thursday, alarm bells started ringing after the Queen's doctors placed her under medical supervision. Now, soon after, all of the Queen's children started travelling to Balmoral, indicating the seriousness of the situation. Her grandson and now heir to the throne, Prince William, and his brother Prince Harry, also gathered there. Queen Elizabeth II's tenure as head of state spanned the transition from Britain's empire to the Commonwealth. She witnessed both World War II, the end of the Cold War, and the UK's entry into and withdrawal from the European Union. She saw 15 prime ministers come and go, starting with Winston Churchill and ending with Miss Truss just this week. At Buckingham Palace in London, crowds have started gathering to pay their respects. A day after her demise, the Union flag on top of the palace has been lowered to half-mast, and an official notice announcing the death was posted outside. She is survived by her 4 children, King Charles III, Princess Anne, Prince Andrew, and Prince Edward. Between them, they gave her 8 grandchildren and 12 great-grandchildren. The royal family has now entered a period of mourning. In the coming days, much of the national life will be put on hold. Official engagements will be cancelled. Members of Parliament will pay tribute to the Queen and take an oath to King Charles. A state funeral for the Queen is expected in the next 2 weeks. Now, for more on this, we are being joined by Ian Pelham Turner, who is a royal commentator. Thank you for being with us, Ian. Now, as we understand, Britain has entered a mourning period of 10 days. What happens next?
A lot of things. As you can imagine, the protocol has now started. Basically, first of all, King Charles will be meeting members of different organisations, the Privy Council, at St James's Palace, so that he can be proclaimed by the Accession Council, which is made up of the Privy Council, judges and leaders of the Church of England. And then he will summon them to the palace. He will tonight apparently say a message of respect and thank you for all the outpouring of grief right across the world on a television program as well. And it moves forward. Basically, he has to sign off the funeral plans with the Duke of Norfolk, who will then carry out the plans that have really been decided in principle since the 1960s.
Right. Now, there is a lot of debate has been about the relevance of the monarchy in this day and age, and yet the Queen was seen as a symbol of unity in troubled times. What explains the British people's bond with the Queen?
I think really she's given 70 years of service, first of all, and it's been unstinting service. She's brought incredible value to this country. She's worked with 15 prime ministers. She's met world leaders. And as President Trump, former President Trump said last night as well, is that when world leaders meet her, they used to melt with her because she had that energy, that charisma that made them feel welcome. But at the same time, they realised the power, the knowledge, and the future that they had if they got on with the Queen.
Yeah. Now there is a new monarch, King Charles III. He has been seen sometimes as a controversial figure. How do you think his monarchy will be perceived?
It's going to be an interesting time because obviously at one time the Queen Consort, Camilla, was really not perhaps the most popular person in the country after the death of Diana, Princess of Wales. But I think she has grown under population. She has been stalwart in working with King Charles to actually give him the strength and the resistance that he's needed. So I think King Charles will be slightly different. There's a lot of things that he has talked about, like not living at Buckingham Palace and turning it into really a residence for all sorts of uses. And I think the reality at the moment is he's obviously got his own agendas. He has promised now as king he will not be making any political statements anymore. But I think he will still be talking about really areas like the areas of concern, the country, global warming, animal rights as well. Issues like that he has been known to favour for many, many years. And he is a world expert in ecology at the same time. So I think he may sort of well see him more advancing those types of projects at the moment. But above all, he needs to be seen as the new king. And I think he's going to be travelling to all the different parts of the United Kingdom in order to actually, first of all, accept condolences from England, Scotland, Northern Ireland and Wales, so that they can actually pour out grief at the same time. There's a lot of envelope of grief here this morning in Great Britain. And I think the reality is that over the next 10 days, that will grow. And really, this is probably just as big an occasion as the funeral of Princess Diana.
Absolutely. Now, Ian, you did touch on it with the leaders. Can you take us through the Queen's legacy and the ties that she had with different countries? Will you tell us about some of the big milestones of her reign?
I think one of the biggest milestones is that she brought the Commonwealth together. And she had that charisma where she could talk to any leaders, first of all, and bring them together at the same time. So places like South Africa, places India, the Caribbean, Africa, there were a lot of countries that really valued, I think, just the knowledge of the Queen at the same time. And I think they gave her due respect as she gave them due respect at the same time. So I think the reality was that with the Queen, she travelled most of the Commonwealth during her time. She brought leaders together. And I think she was very quick when she realised that perhaps she wasn't able to travel so much anymore, to actually send both her son, King Charles, and her grandson, Prince William, around the world to the Commonwealth countries to actually keep that connection going. It's continuity is the name of really where the royal family comes from, and they really wish, I think, to keep that continuity of growth, respect, and bonding between all the Commonwealth countries as well.
Right. Ian, thank you very much for being with us at this sad moment.
Thank you.
WION, now available in your country. Download the app now. Get all the news on the move.